Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Skiera, aka Stations Guy, and welcome to another episode of Recommended Stations here on YouTube. My guests on today's show are actors from the original Rocky Horror Picture film and the movie Clue. No, I'm sorry, they're not actually here, unfortunately, but that's the subject of today's show. I had the honor and great pleasure of meeting three of the stars from the original Rocky Horror Picture Show. Patricia Quinn, who played Magenta, Barry Bostwick, who of course played Brad Majors, and Nell Campbell, who played Columbia. And this was a special 50th anniversary screening of the movie. Unfortunately, Tim Curry wasn't there. He did participate in some of these anniversary screenings, but not in this one, so I didn't get to meet him. But I did get to meet these other actors, and they were so nice, very, very nice, funny. Got to meet them, got my picture taken with them, got their autographs. They signed this. I have this 3D frame here of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the three of them signed that. I also purchased Patricia Quinn's CD, which features Barry and Nell as well, and they signed that. Barry's signature is on the back. An interesting CD. It's the soundtrack to the movie, but they don't sing it. They speak the lyrics in a kind of monologue style. So it's a reinterpretation, I guess you could say, of the soundtrack. It's called The Rocky Horror Show Like You've Never Heard It Before. So that's pretty cool, and they signed that for me. It was so great to meet them, and it was a great experience to experience the film with an audience in a theater. I had seen it before, but only on television. And it's anything goes when you're in the theater with an audience. They can do or say pretty much anything they want. It's wild. I had never experienced anything like that before, so that was very cool. And they also had a group called Hell on Wheels, who did lip syncing acting portrayal of the movie while the movie was playing. So you got the movie up here on the screen, and they're down here performing the movie, which was also pretty wild. It was a little bit, I found it a little bit distracting, but you have to have that. I mean, that's part of the experience. Between that and the audience and the movie, it was just like very cool. It was such a great experience. I'm glad I got to meet the folks. I met some interesting people there as well. A lot of the people came dressed up as some of the characters, and that was really cool to meet and talk with them and see them. Such a great experience. And then that was actually several months ago. More recently, they had a 40th anniversary screening of the movie Clue, which, when you think about it, this movie was based on a board game. It's like, how do you make a movie out of a game? It's kind of, now it's, you have video games that come from movies and movies that come from video games, and it's not a big thing. But, the initial concept is like, how are they going to do this and make it interesting and funny? And, well, they did. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. It came out, well, it's the 40th anniversary, so it came out in 1985. But they had, an all-star cast of extremely gifted actors and actresses, great script. It was just great. So don't kind of put that aside that it was based on a board game, because it's its own thing, and it's a great movie. And again, like Rocky Horror, I had seen it on television, but I never saw it in the theater. I never saw it when it first came out, like a lot of people, because it didn't do gangbusters. It was okay, but it wasn't, crazy popular. So I actually went to two 40th anniversary screenings. The first one I went to was supposed to be the last one they were doing. And I got to meet Leslie Ann Warren, who played Miss Scarlett, and she was so nice, so down to earth, pleasant, funny. Really just great to meet her. Beautiful woman. Even today, she's 79, still beautiful. And she did a Q&A with the audience, as those other actors did with the Rocky Horror. But But they announced during the show that they had just added 2 more dates out in California with Leslie as well as Tim Curry. Well, I'd never met Tim Curry before. Like I said, he wasn't at the Rocky Horror Anniversary screening that I went to. And I had gone to one of these Comic-Con convention things, and he was there, but I couldn't afford to pay to meet him. I did get his autograph. He had pictures out on his table that he had pre-signed, so I got one of those, but I didn't get to meet him. And I wanted to meet him. I mean, he's 80 years old. He's in a wheelchair. He had a stroke in 2012. He can speak. He had to relearn how to talk, but he can't walk. He's, limited to a wheelchair, doesn't get around very much. Obviously, it's not easy to coordinate those logistics. So even though I had already attended the 40th anniversary of Clue, I thought, when am I ever going to get to meet Tim Curry again and hear him answer questions from the audience and so on. So didn't really have the money, but I went ahead and flew out to California, just a quick in and out trip, mainly for this, and got to meet Leslie Ann again and Tim Curry. Got my picture taken with them, and they signed they had like this reproduction poster of the 40th anniversary Clue movie, and they signed that. So nice to meet the both of them. Tim has got a fantastic sense of humor. He looks good, looks healthy. One interesting thing that I didn't know this, Leslie Ann Warren pointed this out, was she was never originally a part of the Clue cast. Carrie Fisher, which most of you probably know from Star Wars, she was cast as Miss Scarlett originally, but she ended up going into rehab and couldn't do the movie. So they called Leslie Ann Warren at the last minute, and she did a fantastic job as Miss Scarlett. I'm sure Carrie Fisher would have as well, but Leslie was Miss Scarlett. She was great, and she talked about when they did the audience Q&A how she had a great time, and they had to keep from cracking up because there were these very brilliant comedians as part of the movie, and she became very good friends with Martin Mull up until his death. It was just so wonderful to meet them. And so I recorded the audience Q&A, which went on for like 30 or 40 minutes, so I'm not going to play you the whole video, but I want to play the end part because one of the audience members, the very last question they took, the audience member asked both of them what their takeaway was from the whole Clue experience and the fans and the popularity and so forth. And Tim Curry was the first to answer. He answered most of the question, really. And he had a very emotional answer. I got very emotional as he answered the question, and it really demonstrated how much he cared about his fans and appreciated his fans. So I'm going to play that clip right now. Again, it's an audience member. I cut out the question, so it's just Tim and some of Leslie Ann. The question was, what have you taken away from the whole Clue experience? Roll it.
This evening, for starters. I wouldn't have imagined this evening when I was making the movie at all. But it's wonderful and I appreciate it very much. Applaud yourselves. Please. Because then I might get to make another comedy.
That question actually made me emotional. Honestly, I mean, because for me, it was such a gift to be around these brilliant comic actors. And I say comic actors because they're not comedians, so to speak. They're actors who know where the funny is and how to bring that to the fore. And you know, you hear this in a lot of PR, and it's rarely true, but we all got along. I mean, so incredibly well, you know, and we're so respectful of each other's talents and artistry, really, and you know, enamored with it in a way. You know, we did all fall on the floor when Madeline did Flames, and you know, and we just we've been working a tremendously long time. And those experiences are, you know, they are lightning in a bottle. So I'm very grateful for that memory that sits inside of my heart. So there you go.
And on that note, we want to thank you, Leslie Ann Warren. And thank you, Mr. Tim Curry.
One other thing I forgot to mention is La La Land Records released the soundtrack to Clue, very limited edition, to 1,000 pieces. Yes, I still buy and play CDs. And I asked Leslie Ann Warren to sign the booklet, which she did. Tim Curry was not signing. He signed the poster, and that was it. But she signed this, and she wrote 1 + 2 ... because that's one of her famous lines in the movie, but I just wanted to put that in there. So great experience. Wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please share and leave some positive comments, some thumbs up. Got some interesting shows coming up that I think you'll enjoy and appreciate. So until then, please be kind to each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Stations Gone.